This is the 2023 Silver Brumby coin from the Perth Mint of Australia. It is already selling for more than I paid for it and has ties to the Old West. So if you are a lover of westerns, animals, or silver, this coin has boxes you need to check as you assess if this coin is right for your stack or collection. What is a Brumby? That's not a trick question, as your eyes would tell you. It is a horse. More specifically, it's an Australian horse whose lineage once was domesticated, and the Brumby status is bestowed in the horse being wild and free of domestication in Australia. It is assumed that the Brumby population, which in itself is controversial, started as a domesticated horse that by some measure of luck escaped and ran wild, which eventually led to the local feral populations throughout Australia. The controversy comes in the argument that the Brumby is feral and thus a threat to local species by one side, and the other stating that the Brumby is a part of the heritage of Australia. The fact of the arguments are a topic for another video, as today we are here to assess if this coin is right for you. To be upfront, I've been wanting to buy a Brumby coin for some time, but the premiums have been quite high. I purchased this coin from APMEX, the American Precious Metals Exchange, as I saw a window where the premiums had been reduced and thought this was my moment. Speaking of APMEX, if you purchase from APMEX, feel free to use my affiliate link. They pay me for referring you, and my hope is that one day to have enough people being directed to their website that they give me the opportunity to develop a coiner series that my viewers can then purchase. Upon holding this coin, I must say I could not be more pleased. Sometimes online what you see is not what you get, and this is a coin that is better than it even looks online. And I can already say that it is one of my favorite Australian coins, which is saying quite a lot. In understanding the history of the Brumby, I found that it is kind of the direct equivalent of a Mustang in American Wild West culture. Horses were brought by explorers, colonists, and merchants over time, and there were bands who broke free and started populations in the wild. The Mustang in America, which is an icon of the West and an overrated sports car in modern models, is therefore the American version of the Brumby. So if you like the Wild West, this is a coin for you. Now that you understand a little bit about the Brumby, let's place this coin on our 60-point scale to see if it is in fact right for your collection. When we look at the obverse, we are met with Her Late Majesty and the second biggest reason I bought this coin. The design hosts the year of the Queen's reign, which is something we only see on this coin for this year. It is kind of like a rookie card or a privy mark, as it is the only Brumby with this designation. As a Perth Mint product, we also are met with only the finest quality, and I score it an 8. Now we move to the reverse, where the stars of our show are in full force. Here we have a pair, not just one, but two Brumby doing Brumby things upon the vast wild of Australia. We see not only the texture of our hooved companions, but also have a most excellent accompaniment of fauna as the grass flows from the foreground and fades upon the foot of distant mountains. I may also do some speculation on this coin, as the ridges of the mountains in the background also remind me a wee bit of the 2024 Kookaburra. It would almost seem that both images could be seen in direct and corresponding areas featured. This is a beyond fantastic design, as the Perth Mint is known for, and it scores a 10. Mintage is our next item on the menu. Mintage for this coin is actually capped at my favorite sweet spot, which is 25,000. This number allows for some exclusivity, but also means you are likely to have a shot at one if you are paying attention. It scores an 8. Now for cultural significance. Australia, like the US, is not an old nation. Therefore, the cultural and historical landmarks are not as defined as some of the old world nations. One of the calling cards of Australia is its wildlife and the blend of a colonial state with a very wild expanse of land. To me, the Brumby is the perfect balance to tell the story of Australia. Even the native aboriginals came from another land like the Brumby, and just like the Brumby, nature found harmony and balance. Australia, to me, always seems to be at a crossroads of domestication and wild. And I think the Brumby, therefore, is a highly accurate cultural symbol, and I score it a 10. Collectability is our next stop. This is a beautiful Perth Mint coin, which is therefore collectible on those merits alone. It then adds a capped mintage of 25,000 and features a year exclusive in the Queen's reign. It has artwork of the highest quality, and that artwork changes every single year. It is beautiful and has something to offer to many, so I score it a 10. Uniqueness is our last category. A horse by itself is not unique. A wild horse called a Brumby, as its wild designation is classified in Australia, is highly unique. On top of that, artwork that forever changes, low mintage, and having a year exclusive as a privy mark makes it wildly unique. It scores a 10, bringing us to our final thoughts and score. Prancing across the line at a more than elite status of 56, these Brumbies are in contention for a coin of the year and have earned their place among the best of the best in my vast world bullion collection. It is rare to have a coin score so high, and it is rare for me to say that a coin like this fits for every collection, but here we are, and here I've said it. One day, I hope to travel to Australia for a meet and greet with fans, as well as the opportunity to see many of our featured bullion friends in their natural environment. Until that time, I must remind you to stay classy and current with the culture of currency.